How to write a narrative paragraph, an easy recipe for success. This is an interactive video, so later on you will need a partner. If you don't have one, pause the video, grab a partner, and press play again. Get ready to learn 5 easy ingredients for a well-organized narrative paragraph. Narrative writing is a way to tell a story. It's like when you tell your friends about something exciting that happened, but instead of telling it to them, you write it down on paper. In a narrative story, there are usually characters, a setting, and a problem or a conflict. When you're writing a narrative story, it's important to think about all of these things. Who are the characters? Where does the story take place? What problem or conflict do the characters have to solve? Once you have all of these things figured out, you can start organizing your story. Once you're done organizing, you can put it all together and write about what the characters do and say and how they feel. Of course, when you're writing your story, it's important to use descriptive words so that your reader can imagine what's happening. Be sure to have fun with this, because at the end of the day, that's what writing is all about. Now, on to the recipe. Preparation. When we are doing reading, we summarize a story by using somebody wanted but so then. Those are the ingredients you need to remember. Somebody wanted but so then. Let's learn this recipe in a little more detail, one step at a time. Step 1. Somebody. You need to start with the main character. Main character is the person, animal, robot, superhuman, or talking egg that your story is going to be all about. Step 2. Wanted. You're going to tell your reader what your character wants. Step 3. But your character isn't going to get what they want right away. That's where you'll introduce the conflict or problem in your story. Step 4. So. Now that you've introduced the problem, show your reader how your main character solves it. So is for solution. Step 5. Then. After the problem is solved, it's time to bring your story to a clever close. Answer the question, then what? Now it's time for some bonus ingredients. Often writers use real facts in their stories to help the story seem more believable or realistic. You'll want to sprinkle vivid verbs and interesting adjectives throughout in order to paint a picture for your reader. Help them use their imagination. Let's try it out together. I'm going to write a story about a mission to Mars. Who could my characters possibly be? Pause the video and have a discussion. Step 1. I'll need to start telling my story while also introducing my main character. Olivia was the youngest female astronaut to ever go on an exploratory mission to Mars. Next, I'll tell what my character wants. She wanted the mission to be a success. Her crew was sent to determine if there was a possibility that life on Mars could have ever existed. Now pause the video to discuss what her problem might end up being. Now I'll introduce the problem. The specialized research equipment they had on board the space shuttle started to malfunction once they were in orbit and ready to begin their research. Now I'll show how my main character solves it. During Olivia's intensive training, she took a course that covered troubleshooting problems just like this. She closed her eyes, found her focus, and visualized what she had learned. Soon, the solution to the problem was clear, and she was able to guide the crew through the steps to fix it. Now pause the video and discuss how could you bring this story to a clever close. Now it's time to bring my story to a clever close. Thanks to the perfectly functioning equipment, they learned that Mars had a set of polar ice caps. They were even able to calculate that the surface of Mars would be covered in 36 feet of water if the South Polar ice cap were ever to melt. This information had scientists back home excited. The happy and successful crew of astronauts returned home heroes to the scientific world for their new discovery. Did you hear anything from my story that sounded like real facts? Did it help my story seem more believable or realistic? Feel free to rewind the video and go back and see if you can figure it out. Did you notice any vivid verbs or interesting adjectives? How did they help paint a picture for you? Now it's your turn. Just remember those 5 ingredients, and you'll be writing impressive narratives before you know it. If you need a little help, go back and watch the video and write a narrative right along with me. Thanks for watching Whimsical Teacher Tube. Teachers, please check the description for linked products, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Press the bell for notifications.
Created using Powtoon.